Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Middara, Trail of the Princess #1, an opportune tip on Tabletop Simulator. We're starting with our first encounter, which I'm a little bit familiar with. My first attempt at it, I did really badly and found out that trying to go throw build against these Elenian thugs that have 2 armor is not the best start. And then my second one went better, but then I realized partway through it that I completely missed some rules, and I decided to just scrap that run entirely at that point because I didn't want to rewind at that point. So, with that all in mind, I'm going to go ahead and read about the rules, and then we'll talk about the new enemy we're up against. So, in conditions, win condition. If the round begins with 4 time tokens on the initiative track, that is the win condition. Lose condition is Shayless is defeated, which is pretty easy to have happen, especially with all this dangerous terrain. Special encounter rules. Suspicious rocks. The special terrain on tile UM57 has no special effect. So tile UM57 is over here. So these tiles here, these yellow ones, don't have any special effect. There's also well-worn bridge. The special terrain printed on tile UM59 also has no effect. So this is a normal bridge as far as we know and doesn't actually fall apart, like all the other ones we've ran into. Friendly field. At the end of each round, place a time token at the end of the initiative tracker. If there are ever 4 time tokens on the tracker at the start of the round, Shayless has survived long enough to attract the City Watch's attention, and the encounter ends in victory. Mysterious adversaries. Reveal hidden card TP1 to access the Elenian Thug and their associated cards. The first time an Elenian Thug is defeated, you read the following hidden text. Alright, so these are Elenian thugs. I don't have figures for them, so I made tokens, and then I realized I needed a way to differentiate them, so I tinted them. So this one's red, purple, and then there's a yellow one here if we need it. Elenian thugs. They have 15 health, 11 defense, 6 movement, and 2 armor. I didn't really talk about my general stats, so I'll go ahead and talk about those right now. I have 7 movement, 9 defense, 0 armor, and 18 health. So the more you know. So they have a white and teal conviction die. Shields give +1 physical. Books give +1 armor piercing, and then burst give +1 physical damage as well. They have crippling defense. The first time they'll counter in melee. If they do, their follow-up will be Wilt with Force 10. So yeah, this is why I don't really want to try attacking these things. With orange dice, I have below 50% chance of actually hitting a defense 11, so it's just not worth attempting here. We got heavy-handed here. The first time each turn the Elenian Thug makes an attack, it gains courage. So the moment it attacks, it gets courage. Now, since I don't have any armor, all courage is going to do is give +1 damage because of the +1 shield. But it is still annoying. Is there an opponent within range 4 and this ability hasn't been used? They have a throwing knife that's poisoned. If you roll a burst on the purple die, instead of doing 7 damage, it will do 4 damage and attempt to poison. And then if there's an opponent adjacent, you make a melee attack that has follow-up push 4. And then you make another melee attack going after the person with the most damage. It also gets push 4. And if you've only made 1 attack, it gets continued down. And then it can move within range 4 and do a ranged attack, which is the least painful thing it can do right now. And then otherwise, it will chase you down. As for the back of this thing, street level. The city of Elenia was never a quiet place. As a constable, you get accustomed to the clanging of steel, the raucous laughter echoing through the taverns, the persistent hawking of merchants in the market, but recently there's been a new kind of noise, a relentless undercurrent of tension that's got my heart racing in the quietest hours of the night. A new breed of criminal has appeared in our city, unlike anything I've ever seen before. They didn't come in on the back of rickety carriages like the usual miscreants, driven by poverty and desperation. No, these had resources, flashy weapons, fancy gadgets, and enough gold to make a duke blush. They swaggered through the streets of Elenia like they owned the place, and they fought with a ferocity that would make even the battle-hardened soldiers of the Demiurge pause. They weren't a part of the Black Hand, that much was obvious. Elenia's own gang of thieves and thugs didn't recognize these newcomers. I heard talk of brutal turf wars in the narrow cobblestone alleys. The Black Hand struggled to keep their foothold in the face of this unprecedented threat. It was like watching a pack of rabid dogs fighting over a bone, only the bone was my city. I couldn't help but wonder who were these newcomers and where did they come from? The answer came in the form of a single chilling word: the core. I'd heard whispers of them, tales told in hushed voices about an organization from the north, ruthless, relentless, and inexplicably wealthy. How they managed to infiltrate Alenia was beyond me, but one thing was clear: they were here now, and they had a mission. Each night, as I walked the city streets, the comforting hum of the city turned into a symphony of unease. The core's shadowy presence was a discordant note in the familiar music of Alenia. How did they know where the princess would be traveling? The arson horns are easy to spot, but how could they possibly grow so bold? Would Brahma dare send assassins into the heart of Alenia now? And the loot level is common, which I'll go ahead and set now. Honestly, getting any sort of like item drop would be a great boon at this point. Alright, I need to put a break here. Actually, yeah, I'll put a break here. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. There's maintenance happening outside my apartment. Alright, so I'm going to go back to reading the rules. I just read Mysterious Adversaries. We got that looks useful if Shayless is adjacent to a crate token, which is anything that looks like a crate or barrel, and otherwise they are obstructing. You can, as an encounter action, she can make a Strength 10 skill check. If she passes, you can read the following hidden text. So she has to roll a 7 on 2 purples to make that happen, because she has 3 strength. The keyword, though, is Shayless. It doesn't say Adventurer or anything like that. So summons will not be able to do this, including LFE. There's a blue objective token, which is all the way on the far left. This token represents a large bell suspended on the skydock. If Shayless is adjacent to this token, she may take an encounter action to ring it loudly, drawing attention from every nearby street. Each time she does, add a time token to the end of the initiative tracker. Alright, there's also a red objective and yellow objective, but those are not on the board, so I'll not read them. There's also a blue totem, and then there's an achievement. If no Alenian Thug intelligent combatants remain on the board when the encounter ends, read the following hidden text. So the achievement is to kill all the thugs before the timer runs out, which is easier said than done. Alright, I'm going to put one more break here so I don't have to reread this if I ever have to rewind because of rules mistakes, so BRB. Okay, time for, so our starting location is literally just this tile. There are no other options. And unfortunately, this is a rough start because it's a 50-50 chance that they're just going to go first and start throwing knives at me. Like this. Alright, so we're going to start with Alenian Thug Red. This one has line of sight of me because of the diagonal. It's going to go ahead and throw a purple at me. Alright, 3 damage, so I take 3 damage. We will make note that this has been done. Then it's going to try to move to be 4 range, which I think is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's going to move to be 4 range away. It's going to make a range attack. I'm going to go ahead and dodge with a hoodie. I'm going to go ahead and use Forebode to re-roll it. Cool. I'm glad we're starting with this already. He does get courage immediately upon just doing the attack, and we get to roll these two, this teal and orange. It actually missed, thank God. All right. Goes to the other one. Now, the other one doesn't have line of sight of me, thankfully. Yeah, as you can see, it clips the red there. But it is going to go ahead and move in a way to get an attack off. So it's going to move to at least here. And here. And then make a ranged attack. This will be at -1. I will spend a stamina to dodge. Alright, I do have +1 because of the Hoodie of Deflection, and I didn't roll Skull, so this will be 13, and they have -1. Alright, attack misses. Okay, also he would have gone and gained Courage, but since he just missed his attack, he will lose Courage now. But since he keeps getting it back every turn, it doesn't really matter. Alright, now it goes to our turn. So I do know a few things. I know what the blue totem does, I know what all the blue loot token does, and I know what happens when you kill one of these guys. So I will make use of that knowledge. Alright. So first things first, we are going to go ahead and pop summoning, which will get us a summon token. And I'll use the board over here for Elifie. I already have the stat line set up for her. She has the same defense and health as the summoner. And we'll just borrow... Oh, we don't even have a casting die, do we? That's unfortunate. I can always do empowered spells, I guess. That's the disadvantage of going double shifts here. Alright, so we'll put her on the board. And she'll go right after us. Okay. So, let's go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and use one of my straight shifts. Now, Elifie does have the bag full of organs, which will be -2 armor for anyone nearby, anyone within SOI. So these guys now don't have any armor. How do I want to do this? I'm going to target the purple Linnean Thug. I think that'll be the plan. Alright, I will use Deadly Elegance, so I'll be rolling these 2 dice. Also, my forebode should refresh. And here goes nothing. Alright, that's the most I've ever rolled on that die result. Usually I roll like 2 and 3. Alright, so 9 damage. They don't have any armor thanks to Elifie, so it just does flat 9 damage to purple. Which is a pretty strong start. Alright, next I'm going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to do a encounter action on this box. So I'll be rolling 2 purples and adding 3 to it because it's a strength check. I need to get a 10 or higher. Alright, that is a 12. We do pass. Let me grab my red revealer and get up. Thankfully, my cat has gotten off my lap at this point. Alright, this is going to be hard to see. Alright, Shayless gives the crate a swift kick and it splinters open. She grabs a jagged shard from the debris, replace the crate token with a hindering terrain token. Shayless may immediately throw purple at an opponent. This counts as using a discard ability. That final sentence just means that it can be used with Shayless's ability. That's pretty much what it translates into. Alright, I need to grab ourselves some terrain, so I will. That should be enough to hold us over for a bit. Alright, and then I can immediately do a throw, which I will do. I can't use my ability because I've already used it this round. But 6 damage is exactly enough to kill one of these guys. I'm not going to complain. So, a Linnean Thug defeated. I'll get my loot card. 10 gold, can't complain. Alright, and then we read up on the Mysterious Adversaries text. The fallen body barely hits the pavement in front of you when you hear more motion coming from the shadows. The longer you're here, the less this looks like a mugging and more like a proper ambush. They must know who you really are. At the beginning of the next round, spawn 1 Linnean Thug on the starting space of this encounter. Yeah, good news is this only triggers on the first time you kill these guys. But yeah, we're going to end up spawning a guy behind us. Which is what it is. Okay. Alright, so that puts us here. I've used up all my stamina. I do have the utility core if I need to. But I think that's going to be all we're going to be doing with her for now. I could have taken some time to like try to kill the other guy. But I don't think I have any way to actually get line of sight. Nope. But I also, like, I'm trying to resist the urge to just throw all my knights at once. That way I can take advantage of Shayless's ability. But it is hard to do when you're being immediately attacked at all angles. Alright, so that is it for Shayless. Goes to Elifie. Alright, Elifie is going to go ahead and do a Gore Shot. I'm going to go ahead and lock her for now. There we go. Gore Shot. And I will spend a stamina to empower it. If she takes damage because of the backlash from a failed empower, it won't hurt the summoner because it's not from an enemy. Alright, so Gore Shot, here goes. 9, I think it's the total. Yep, 9. We need a white die here. White and teal for this. 9. Okay, didn't do anything. All right, I'm then going to go ahead and spend 1 to move. We'll go 1. Actually, let's see, can I jump? Yeah, 1, 2, 3 to here. So I'll need to pass a 12, and I have 5 agility plus 3 from strength, so 8. Yeah, this won't fail. Yeah, we're good to go. So I spend a stamina to move here. Then I will go ahead and spend a stamina to give barrier to Shayless. And then end of the round, we'll get a time token. And then we shuffle for initiative. Oh, sorry, we also need to spawn this guy at the start. There we go. Okay, starting with Shayless. So I need to kill this guy. If I don't, he's going to do a throw, which could potentially poison us. The more you know. All right. I get 3 stamina. This will get unexhausted. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw my straight shiv. I'll roll a purple and an orange. We do have Elifie here to help with the armor reduction. That's what I usually roll. 5 damage. All right. Okay. I am going to go ahead and do some more throws because I need to kill this guy now. So I'm going to throw a throwing knife. 1 damage. Throw another one. 7 damage. Almost. And then one last one. Just bare minimum Shayless. That's what they call her. Alright, that kills that Olympian Thug. We get another loot card. 5 gold. I'll go ahead and spend a stamina to do a re-equip. I could try going after the Olympian Thug, but at this point we're not exactly in the best position to do so. What I can do is I can spend a stamina to move to get to here. Because this box is blocking line of sight, thankfully. I mean, he'll still be able to move to get in range to throw something, but that's completely... or to do a ranged attack, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and take the blue loot token. Alright, blue loot token. Despite the low rolls, I'm actually doing better than any of my other attempts so far. Tucked away behind some old supplies, you find a black bag packed with a few healing salves. They're covered in Chinese characters you can't read, but the smells are familiar enough. You don't have the luxury of being picky about your supplies right now. Gain 1 magic bomb and then 2 random consumables with the potion tag. Okay, so we'll grab ourselves a magic bomb, and then I need to combine the mundane and commons together. Okay, so we get a magic bomb, and then anything that has the potion tag. For anyone that's not familiar with how I play Middara on Tabletop Simulator, usually when you shuffle, you're supposed to shuffle and draw from the bottom, because obviously you see the backs of the cards. But this is all digital, so I'm just going to hit shuffle once and take the top 2. Assuming they are potions. That's not a potion, that is a potion, and this is a potion. Alright, so that's what we're looking at right now. I don't have space for these, but at this point, desperation takes over. We're going to get rid of the throwing knives that we've already used. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling of stuff here, like this. All right. That's all been resolved. Goes to Elydian Thug 1 through 3. There's just one now. He's already done his throw, and he doesn't have line of sight to begin with. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. But he can definitely move. He's going to go towards the nearest opponent, which is going to be Shayless. So it's going to be like right there. Because I believe that's the only spot that has line of sight. Yeah. All right, he's going to make a ranged attack. He still has courage. I'll dodge with a Hoodie of Deflection, which I forgot to refresh last time. All right, I'm at 12 defense, and this attack will be at -1. All right, attack misses. Cool. You can tell, you can see how this can go really bad the other way. Like if I was rolling like maximum damage, like I usually do to myself, this can end very quickly. Or worse, you get poisoned in the beginning. All right, goes to Elifie. All right, so Elifie does have line of sight of this thing. So let's go ahead and get that up and running. Elifie gets unexhausted, gets 3 stamina. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spend a stamina to do an empowered gore shot. All right, that's 12 in total. All right, I do hit. It's going to do base 2 damage, and then I can do 2 damage to herself to do an additional 2 times her highest, the summoner's highest discipline level. Highest discipline level is 3, so do an extra 6. So I'll take 2 damage to do a total of 8 damage to this guy. Oh, also, since he missed, he does lose courage. Not that it matters. All right, every little helps here. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to spend 2 to give a dodge token to Shayless, just in case she needs it. All right, that is it for the round. We get another time token. All right, Elifie goes first. Gets 3 stamina. We'll spend 1 of it and do what we did just last time. 10 in total. All right, I will go ahead and spend the 2 health to do 8 damage to this guy and kill him. Fantastic. No notes. All right, so draw some loot. 8 gold. Now, who needs a casting die? Just empower everything and gamble. Gambling is the way to go, kids. All right. I am going to go ahead and just use this opportunity to spend 2 to give a dodge token to Shayless. You can have up to 3 of these. And then call it good. Goes to Shayless. All right. Shayless is going to go ahead and get 3 stamina. And then she's going to move. She'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, doing the jump. I'll do the jump check first. I have to make a beat of 10, and I have 3 agility. So that's 7. I have 3 agility. I barely passed. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do trigger this blue totem. Time for blue totem. So this is where I made a mistake, which I'll talk about in a bit. You stumble further along the docks, fighting closer to the distant bell. The distant streets remain deserted or deserted of any help. You'll have to cross a narrow bridge to reach the bell. Unfortunately, reaching the bell will take you away from the streets, making it harder to notice this brawl. Remove 1 time token from the initiative track. So we're back down to 1. Which I'm actually kind of okay with because I actually want more time. A single thug waits on the other side. As he sees you, he gestures and a summoned blade soars over the gap, waiting for you to approach. Place tokens and figures according to diagram 1. All right, give me one moment as I set things up for diagram 1. Okay, so we have an Elenian Thug, we have a red totem here, red objective here, spirit blade here. So what I messed up last time is the diagram actually has special rules on it. Bladed Companion, the Spirit Blade won't activate until you reach the red objective or move adjacent to it. Reference the Elenian Thug Intelligent Monster Combatant card for the Spirit Blade scaling icons. Biting Time, the Elenian Thug 3, or in this case it's 1, has damage equal to half or more of its maximum HP and the red totem hasn't been activated. Activate the red totem. Okay, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and let me go ahead and read about the red objective, because that's actually something we need to do. Oh, I have it right here. Okay. So, red objective. If an adventurer moves onto or adjacent to the space this token occupies, read the hidden text below. All right. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. I'll trigger red objective. This is going to get pretty ugly since I triggered this totem as the last action, but I don't really have a choice because of how we don't have a party. All right, so let's go ahead and read up on red objective, which will take care of the whole Bladed Companion rules. So yeah, the mistake I made was I had the Bladed Companion actually come at me, and I also completely forgot that I also didn't know about the whole red totem thing. All right, the summon blade zips forward to duel you. You'll recognize the behavior of these summoned weapons, honorable and fair to all their opponents, despite their threatening appearance. The sword invites you to duel. If you accept, continue down. Otherwise, refuse the invitation and fight on, and the spirit blade activates normally. I'm going to go ahead and duel this guy. You incline your head to the floating weapon, raising both daggers in preparation. The sword dips, then zips forward for a formal challenge. Make an agility 12 check. So I have to roll a 9 on 2 purples to pass this. Needless to say, this is going to be difficult. But I'm going to try anyway. So I roll 2 purples, and we'll see what happens. Boop. That is 9. Did I actually get it in one go? I have 4 bow to reroll, and I also have this bottle blessing, but yeah, it's agility check. Agility 12, 3 agility. So that's 2, 9, 12. Yep, I passed. Okay, cool. This makes things a lot easier for us. You strike forward at the blade, deflecting 1 blow while sinking your dagger into the handle. Metal deforms and the blade reacts as though it were alive, spinning away from you. The sword stops in the air before you, tips briefly down, then vanishes. You have won the duel. The spirit blade is defeated. And just like that, you get rid of the spirit blade. It is a summoned Esper, so we don't get any loot. But that is... The Spirit Blade was going to be a problem. It has physical resistance, so throw would not be very effective against it. So it would be all up to Elfie to kill it. All right. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to spend my last movement to go 7, and then I'm going to spend a utility core to move down 1. Okay. Goes to Elenian Thug. Literally, I don't think he can reach us at all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, just out of sight. But still does the regular movement. We do add a time token back at the end of the round, and we'll continue on. Also, just out of curiosity, I went all the way to here. I'm going to make sure I didn't trigger red totem. Oh, I did trigger red totem. Okay, let me rewind real quick. So, yeah, I actually triggered red totem, and it was not being blocked by the sword. So let me trigger red totem right now. For what it's worth. All right. So I don't know what's coming here, because I didn't get further than this, because this is when I realized I made a mistake. Oh my god, reading this is really hard. There we go. That should help. Alright, across the bridge, the thug begins to back away from you. You can't tell what he might be doing at first and let him do it. Relieved for every spare second this buys you, then you see it and it's too late to stop him. He transforms before your eyes. His body soon converts into thick stone. He's conduit summoning. A Linian thug moves 4 spaces towards the crate token on tile UM57. So it'll be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. After moving, he is removed from the board. Spawn an Earth Loa on the space he occupied. Any damage tokens or effects that were on the Linian thug are moved to the Earth Loa. Place the initiative card immediately after the Linian thug initiative card on the initiative track. Even worse, this attacker has a friend fighting beside him, who seems undeterred by his strange magic. They put themselves between you and the bell you won't be reaching without a fight. Place tokens and figures according to diagram 2. Okie dokie. So as for the Earth Loa thing, as far as I know, there's only a conduit summon for regular Earth Loas, not the alternate version, so I'm just going to use the regular version, so give me a moment. Okay, sorry for all the mistakes. Let me go ahead and take back the time token because we haven't finished the round yet. Okay, so this is the Earth Loa that transformed. Or sorry, the Linian thug that transformed into an Earth Loa. I'm a little curious about one thing about this. Yeah, so unlike their conduit summon's better because he doubled his HP. So this is a common tier Earth Loa, so he has 30 HP and all that good stuff. This one spawned in because the diagram 2. There are no special rules on diagram 2, but did spawn this yellow objective. If Shayless is adjacent to an intelligent combatant and either figure is on or adjacent to the space the token occupies, as an hidden encounter, you can read the following hidden text. Not sure what that's going to be, because I don't think I'll ever get there with an opponent. Because, yeah. Yeah, so I definitely had line of sight for this thing, so, yeah. So what happened was I triggered Red Totem, moved here, dealt with the summon, and then moved back to here. So that's still all normal. Okay. So now it goes to a Linian Thug 1 through 3. So the Earth Loa switched. Yeah, end up switching with that and then spawning the. So technically what happened is he switched to an Earth Loa, so he got spawned like this. Then the Linian Thug got added because of the diagram. So it'll be like that. So Linian Thug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Earth Loa is going to give barrier to his best buddy here. And then go 1, 2, 3. All right. If we had done any damage to the previous thug, it would have carried over to the Earth Loa, which would have made my life a lot easier. Good thing I still have this Exalted Summon, because I'm going to have to use it on that, because there's no way I'm going to be able to kill it with throwing knives. All right, now we add the time token. And we go to town. Earth Loa goes first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a Linian Thug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still no line of sight. Goes to Elify. What's your perception, by the way? 2. Okay. Elify will get 3 stamina. This will get unexhausted. Spend 1 to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. So it'll cost a stamina for that, and then I'll spend a stamina to do an empowered gore shot. Yep, rule of diagonals, I have it. So here goes nothing. 15. Okay, I'll take the 2 damage to do 8 damage. Like so. That is it for Elifie. Goes to Shayless. Shayless will go up to 3 stamina. And I'll go ahead and spend a stamina to try to throw this crate over here. So, strength check, DC 10, good to go. So this will get replaced with a hindering terrain tile. And I get to do a throw. I will use my ability with it, Deadly Elegance. So I roll 2 purples. Do 2 damage. Alright, I am going to go ahead and throw a throwing knife. Two damage. Oh, sorry. I did 1 damage because of the barrier. Good times. Should have just used the bottle blessing at this point. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw again. Alright, 6 damage. That will kill. Yeah, so, yeah, with the barrier, he has 3 armor, and then Elifie drops it down by 2, so it's 1 armor. But that's still enough to kill, thankfully. Yeah, with all 3 knives, I did 11 minus 3, so 8. Yeah, 8 damage exactly. Okay, so that is a dead Elenian Thug. Draw some loot, please. 6 gold, I'll take it. 29. So the good news is it looks like we have our achievement done. And unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to do anything with this yellow objective, I don't think. Because you have to be adjacent to an intelligent combatant. You have to be adjacent to the intelligent combatant and then either be on either of those tokens. But honestly, if you got yourself positioned over there, you either did something really reckless or you're winning at that point. So I don't really see the point. The push these guys have is 3. All right. So I'm definitely concerned about being pushed, but there's not really much I can do about it. I'll spend a stamina to move. Or actually, sorry, I'll spend a stamina to do a utility core move. To move 2 spaces. Okay. Then I will go ahead and pop Exalted Summoning. And this is going to do a white and teal damage. Oh yeah, I didn't even say which one I'm summoning. We're going to be doing Minos Contractor. So deal magic damage equal to the number rolled using both their conviction dice. And then inflict condemned. Alright, 11 magic damage. Alright, I haven't actually moved yet, so I will spend a stamina to move. I could throw, but it's not going to do any damage. So yeah, I'll spend a stamina to move, go 1, 2 to there. And be good to go. Alright, time token added. So we got 1 round to try to kill this guy. Chances are we're not going to pull that off, but especially with that formation there. All right, I'll start with Shayless. I'll spend a stamina to do a utility core move. 1, 2. I'll do the throw on the crate. I will re-roll using Forebode. Alright, and then I will use my ability to do Deadly Elegance and just throw 2 purples. I do 1 damage. Boink. Okay. Alright, and then I will spend stamina to move back to here. Alright, Earthla will move up, and then he's going to swing at Shayless because Shayless has the higher initiative. I will dodge with Hoodie of Deflection. I have 12 defense, and you roll 2 teals at -1. -1 saved me. Okay, misses, goes to Elifie. Get 3 stamina. I will spend... Oh, sorry, I forgot to roll a black die. And this is pretty much the only way we're going to get it killed. So if he gets a skull, he should have died. Oh, thought about it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kill this guy in 1 round. There's just no way. So yeah, I'll just do a empowered gore shot. 15. And I'll take the extra damage. Do 8. And then I'll just stay in place, to be honest. All right, end of the round, we add a time token, and then at the start of the round, we have 4 type. A round begins with 4 time tokens. We have won this. The reward for this is just restore all adventurers. So Shayless will go back to full health, which I don't think she took damage. She actually did really well this time. But let's read the achievement. Vendors on the dock express their gratitude for your hard work as you depart, offering you a... Oh, sorry, let me read the requirement. If no Elenian Thug intelligent combatants remain on the board when the encounter ends, so we have a Earthloa on the board right now, so we're good on that front. Let's see. Vendors on the dock express their gratitude for your hard work as they depart, offering you a case of their finest tonics. Thanks to you, they'll be able to ship their wares in peace. Reveal and gain all copies of medium hidden card TP2, capitals Correda Cordia. So I'm just checking Red Totem real quick. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you become an Earthloa at that point. So I will count this as a win. It's not a big deal otherwise, but... Alright, so we get all copies of this. It is a story consumable. Alcohol, it costs 8 gold to purchase. Discard at any time. You or an adjacent ally heal 4 and gain a stamina. After discarding this card, it becomes a common consumable for purchase. When rest and exercise don't cut it, reach for a cordial. So we get 3 of these, which will go into the stash, because I am currently full inventory. And we go to Unfair Fight page 12, which that will be for another time. Alright, so honestly that pretty much went as good as it could possibly go. Yeah, killing everything is actually pretty hard with the time limit. I was curious to see like what sort of things you can get over here, but it looks like there's... I mean, the only thing we didn't do the yellow objective, and then there was the blue objective. I don't know if there's any items there. I know the blue objective is just ringing the bell, it looks like. So I don't know if there's anything I particularly miss as far as gear is concerned, but I think I won't complain. We definitely got quite a bit done. I do like how there's probably not a lot of things you need to worry about finding in this map. It's all about just trying to survive. And surviving is probably very doable as long as you take advantage of the terrain and take advantage of the AI that this thing has. Like, this guy has a lot of nasty abilities, but only if you start like adjacent or within line of sight of the guy. If you can break line of sight, all they have is just a range 4 attack that isn't particularly too devastating. I mean, their symbols are annoying, but they're not the worst. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Middara, Trail of the Princess, #1 at Opportune Tip. And I will say MVP goes to Elifie, because she did, quite frankly, the most damage. I'll see you guys next time.